This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren teaching his word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the elect, the 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom. I'm the brother Dama Gabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. And my, oh my, the Lord is doing a number on Babylon the Great, America, and Israel. All right. The pride of Esau is being brought low, and this man is being exposed. This man is being, shown to be, that all his arrogance and his pride and his so-called knowledge and understanding and wisdom is coming to nothing. All right. Because right now he's being outwitted. He's being out bombed. He's being warred. That's even the word, by those Iranians right now. And it's only going to get worse for America, because there's a lot of information coming out that Babylon is suffering, and taking the worst end of this Iranian and America, Israel, skirmish. They're taking heavy losses. They're getting, outclassed. And ultimately, Trump and their pride and their arrogance have bitten off more than they could chew. And we've been saying that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, starting with the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, that, Iran is not, Iraq. It's not Afghanistan. It was not Venezuela. That they're a very formidable foe. They have a very sophisticated military. And ultimately, the information that's coming out that Iran is very well prepared. They've been studying and watching these damn devils and watching how they operate, watching how they maneuver. They've been studying the videotape, and they have a very good plan in place. That is Trump thought they were going to just come in there and bomb and do their usual Debo type of shit, and get in there, bomb for a couple of days, and then have Iran begging and ready to negotiate and saying those sweet words that they wanted to hear. But now it's all backfiring, man. It's coming out that they don't have enough, that the West and Israel don't have enough interceptor missiles, that they've depleted a lot of their interceptors and missiles in the whole Ukraine situation. They've given too much to Israel in previous strikes, and that, Iran was very well prepared for this situation. And now you got America and Trump trying to have a ceasefire. Now they're trying to negotiate, because they're realizing that they bit off more than they could chew. And this enemy was way more prepared than they ever thought. And it's showing you the pride of these damn devils is being brought low, that, it's not looking well for America. And Trump, this is going to pretty much be, the end of his reign of terror, man. All right. So I was watching this video right here from Jimmy Dore. What the fuck, man? And they bring out a lot of good information. You see?
You have to see this because it looks like witchcraft. Because you only need to spray it once. We do know.
All right. So it says here, breaking U.S. sustaining major losses in Iran war. And you see, and don't get it twisted. When you hear on Western media, you're going to hear how, America and They're triumphing. They're pounding Iran. Iran, they're losing. They're on the ropes. You know, they're suffering all these major losses. We know that both sides fabricate and are going to lie on losses and shit that they sustain from the other party. But it's coming out even more that America is suffering way more major losses than the Iranians are. And there's some and a lot of the wickedness and griminess of America and Israel is being shown, and which is going to ultimately lead to their allies eventually turning on them, man, which they're going to show you in this video. I'm going to play about 7 minutes. But the point is, man, hey, this devil Esaww is being exposed, man. His pride is being met. Hey, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is taking that hedge off of Esau, Edom, America, and those tiny tops, and they're being exposed in this situation, and it's ultimately going to show the world that eventually Babylon the Great, America is for the taking, and this is showing the world that America's military, though as powerful as it is on paper and how much they spend on the budget and all of the the power that it contains, is not, it's beatable, They're not as sophisticated, and they're not as wise, and basically a lot of their threats and their chest pounding is really, a lot of it is just for show. And Iran is showing the world that, look, man, hey, that strategically, and these guys can be beaten. They're not as powerful. Well, they're powerful, but they're not as great and as prideful. They're not as great as they presume to be. And this shit is not working out well for the West. Trump and his administration are being shown to be, very weak, very unprepared, and very beatable. So I'm gonna play some of this video, about 7 minutes. Got a couple of precepts, but hey, man, a call hello Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. The Lord is putting Esau's bullshit on full display. And it's only going to lead to more of those Arab nations eventually joining with Iran. A lot of America's allies are going to eventually turn against her, as I'm going to read in Obadiah, man. So, hey, the Lord is working. The Lord is doing a beautiful thing. Hey, and this whole Iran and America situation is moving prophecy forward. So let's play some of this.
That in Bahrain, they hit the facility that housed U.S. naval officers. It's on fire. So there's possibility that they have killed some U.S. Naval personnel. You got Bahrainis cheering as Iranian missiles are slamming in to this U.S. naval facility.
So the people of Bahrain are cheering on Iran. I was watching this guy, Larry C. Johnson. He's a former CIA intel analyst. And he was talking on Judge Napolitano's show, and here's what he said. He says America has suffered great losses. Let's listen.
And the United States is suffering significant material losses. I don't know about human loss at this point. What's happened right now, for example, they made a big point of attacking the Fifth Fleet facility in Bahrain. It's a port. That port is critical for providing service to, say, U.S. destroyers, who, remember, these destroyers come equipped with 96 missile slots. I think they got 50 up front and 46 astern. And they're vertical launch systems. So when they launch either Tomahawk cruise missiles or Aegis air defense missiles out of those tubes, the only way to replace them is to sail to a port. Previously, they could sail into Bahrain and go there. Not now. Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz.
So Bahrain is it's like an island just off the coast of Saudi Arabia, right near the Strait of Hormuz. So that's where Bahrain is, and it's basically a vassal state of the United States, and we have military base there, and he's saying that they just crushed it. Okay.
You've got several U.S. Navy ships that are now basically trapped inside the Persian Gulf, and Iran's got the anti-ship missiles to take those out. I don't know if they have yet, but I think they will, number one. So now this means the United States, when it's in a fight with the Abraham Lincoln carrier in the Arabian Sea, accompanied by, last I checked, it was like 3 destroyers or maybe up to 4. Once they're run out of missiles, the nearest port is 3.5 days away at Diego Garcia.
Wow.
So what he's saying is, once the American ship uses their 90 missiles, it's over. They can't go.
You see, and Trump, to show you that the pride have deceived this damn devil, man, because he had it in his mind. Oh, it's gonna be like every other situation. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna pound them real fast, get in, get out. And that's going to be that. And Iran is going to be begging for diplomacy. They're going to want to talk. Our demands are going to be met. But no, Iran, they're planning for they're planning to draw this thing out. They're drawing to, not let it be some easy, quick, boom, pow, get in, get out type of situation. And they're, leaving America basically. They're basically making this to a situation to where it's a war that Iran wants to fight, not a war that America and Israel wants to fight. And it's going to leave a lot of these destroyers sitting ducks for the attack of these Iranians. So they've outwitted and they've outsmarted Babylon this time, man. And it's going to leave these two nations, Israel and America, sitting ducks, man. See, it's going to suck the pride right out of these damn devils, man. It's going to cause what? Trump and his administration in America to get more and more careless, but hey, we're going to see how it's going to play out. We're going to see, exactly how we know how, ultimately how all things are going to unfold. That's going to lead to this third world woe, but we're going to see how this, bad decision making and bad coordination by America is going to play out, man. Let's see where it's going to leave them in the grand scheme of things. You see?
Back to Bahrain, they destroyed it. They got to go 3.5 days away somewhere else to another port, which means there won't be any United States presence there, and there's no more defending Israel.
Let's get this. See this, man? Hey, the Lord's doing a beautiful thing, man. Look at this. What does it say over the title? Edom will be humbled. Obadiah 1:1, it says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. You see, and this is what the situation is going to ultimately lead to. All of these nations, especially a lot of those Arab nations, they're going to show you Saudi Arabia, Turkey, the whole greater Israel project is basically, the West and those tiny tops trying to secure that whole landmass. The greater Israel project, basically, in order for them to fulfill it, they're going to have to double cross and backstab a lot of American allies like Saudi Arabia and Turkey, and a lot of those nations in that region. You see? It's going to eventually lead to what? Their own allies turning on them. Basically, that whole so-called Middle East or Western Asia, those Arab nations banding together against the tiny tops in America. See, this is what Jeremiah, the 49th chapter, is all about. And this is what the situation is going to ultimately lead to, is the least of the flock drawing America out and basically leading to America and Israel being ultimately destroyed in this third world's war. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised, you see. And who's the most greatly despised nations on the planet right now is America and those tiny tops, man. All right, everybody is seeing the complete and utter wickedness and the outright just filthiness of these two major nations. To where now, everybody is banding together to be against them, whether it's economically, financially, economically, to be allies, they're just greatly despised, man. Everybody is on the heads of the so-called JOOs and Trump and America and this government. All right. And the word is bazar. It says to despise, hold in contempt, with disdain, to despise, regard with contempt, to be despicable, to be vile. You see? And this is what we're seeing happening to America and its greatest ally, the tiny tops. You see? And it's not gonna that sentiment is not gonna go away. It's gonna be more and more increased and more in the earth until eventually these devils are gonna be totally isolated and eventually burned with fire, man. You see, they're greatly despised, man. You see? It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, what that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? You see? And this is how Trump and Israel was talking a couple of days ago. Before we just heard Trump in these last couple of days, how they killed they killed those high ranking officials in Iran. He was talking very proudly. This is the most greatest army the earth has ever seen. Nothing's like it. We're gonna go in. We're gonna bomb. But we're gonna Operation whatever the hell they call it, Operation Epstein. That Summer's calling it. Talking all this shit. Oh, we're gonna do this. We're gonna bomb. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be quick and powerful and swift. Something that they're not gonna be able to do anything about it. But look what all that shit talking and pride has produced. Hey, all that pride is being sucked out of the room. This whole situation when how Iran is doing it is leaving you exposed, is leaving you vulnerable. Your military is too stretched. You didn't have enough interceptors. You wasn't fully prepared to go into this battle. Oh, that made me think of a precept. Let me get this real fast and I'll come back. Oh, how does it go? How does that scripture go? Let me see. I haven't brought this out in a long time. Oh, here we go. That's the spirit. At the water, how about your shot? This is Luke. Let me see something. This is Luke 14:28. For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Lest happily after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it might begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Here's the point. Or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000? Or else, while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth an ambassage and desireth conditions of peace. See? It says, so likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he have, he cannot be my disciple. But the main point I wanted to bring out of this was, what king goeth to war with another sitteth not down and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000. And this is what Trump and Babylon didn't do. What the fuck, man? I hate when that shit does that. And now what? Now everybody is seeing the pride of Esaw's heart being sucked out of the room. You see? And it's a beautiful thing to see. You see? And now, hey, like I said, this man is totally exposed. This man is getting ready to suffer greatly, in this whole situation that they got themselves into. Because why? They went into it with pride and arrogance, man. And we told you, according to the scriptures, that the weak is going to eventually say that I am strong, that we know that Iran was going to be a guard unto Iran. And they ain't even, look, Russia and China hasn't even got heavily involved in this situation yet. Because why? It's building up to that. It's getting to that point to where, like I said, it's going to lead to this third world war. And all of these nations eventually gathering up to come up against Babylon the Great, America, to where even its own allies, because I'm gonna show you some more information in that video, man, because the only ones that's really gonna suffer the most with this whole situation is America, Israel, and Europe. Which they're gonna show you in that video. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. Let me jump down here. Verse 6, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, and there is no understanding in him. You see? There's no understanding in Esau. Like I said, all of his pride, his arrogance, he think he got everything under control, is showing him to be a complete and utter fool, man. See, it says, shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise man out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And that's what you're seeing. You see? These devils are showing themselves not to be wise, moving in a way that is not good. And they're, look at Trump in that picture. That's them being humble. Like the title of Obadiah said, Esau is being humbled. And it's only the beginning of his great humbling. But let's go.
So that's how I take it. That's how I take what he's saying. Let's listen. He says more.
What we have right now is a situation that we cannot sustain an attack, a naval attack from the south with just the one aircraft carrier, because there's no nearby port they can sail to get reloaded. So 3 days out, 3 days back, that's a week.
How sustained is the American attack? Is it regular, consistent, systematic, without a break, or does it go for a couple of hours and they stop and then they come back?
Well, they can't sustain it continuously because they're using the land-based is from planes that are flying out and dropping air-guided missiles, air-to-ground missiles. And again, the same applies to the ships that are those destroyers that are firing off Tomahawk cruise missiles. Once they fire, they're done. They'll have to wait till they can go reload. I do understand that Iran has fired some missiles and drones at the ship, at the carrier strike force. Don't know what the effect has been. We do know that in Bahrain, they hit the facility that housed U.S. naval officers. It's on fire. So there's possibility that they have killed some U.S. Naval personnel. You got Bahrainis cheering as Iranian missiles are slamming in to this U.S. naval facility.
So the people of Bahrain are cheering on Iran that are bombing our U.S. naval facility in Bahrain. So now we're going to be just as hated around the world as Israel is.
See, that's why I read that. You shall be greatly despised, man. And it's not over yet. Watch this. Just keep listening.
And that's
Got a word.
Yeah. But here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Well, the petrodollar thing, it's almost as if they intentionally are trying to destroy the rest of America to hasten that technate thing they're into. That's how it comes off to me.
Okay. This guy's got more to say. Let's listen.
But at the same time, what you have is the other countries, Saudi Arabia has now declared war on Iran. I'm sure that Qatar and United Arab Emirates are going to follow suit. And fine, up to this point, Iran has targeted only the military targets, the U.S. military targets in these countries. But if those countries want to start getting into it with Iran, Iran will take out their oil. And Iran very well can do that. And that'll be especially true if the West tries to attack Iranian oil facilities and oil fields. They will then, in turn, light up the entire Persian Gulf and say goodbye to 25% of the world's petroleum.
So what actually happened, so I didn't know this, that Saudi Arabia had declared war on Iran, but what we have found out since...
No, watch this. Watch this.
He said this, was that Israel attacked Saudi Arabia.
You see, those small hats doing what they do, doing their wicked, weaselly, radish type of tactics. Was they attacked their own ally, Saudi Arabia, and tried to make it seem as if the Iranians did it, man. And now Saudi Arabia, they know that Iran didn't do it, and that the tiny tops, those small hats, did it. Their alleged allies bombed their facilities and try to make it seem as if Iran did. See, this is why, I've been seeing brothers doing videos, and it makes sense that, the more that we see America and Israel lose this situation, the more they're getting exposed, the more they see their allies turn on them. Hey, be prepared for these devils to do so-called inside attacks here on American soil. And who do you think they're going to blame it on? Yeah, here it is. Think about it, right? If these devils are willing to attack their own ally and try to blame it on Iran, hoping that Iran didn't know, to use it to get Saudi Arabia to get involved in this war to attack Iran, only to find out that your own ally did it. You don't think that these devils, those rats, and America wouldn't fake something like that here on American soil, to blame Iran, or to blame Russia, to blame China, to blame any other enemies, so that they could try to get the American people to rally and sympathize with the tiny tops and this war that they're waging on Iran, that none of the American people want or voted for, or even want to see happen. It's crazy, man. But like I said, these devils are becoming greatly despised, and their wickedness and their stupidity is on full display, and it's only going to get more and more intensified.
and they did like a false flag. They tried to make it seem like Iran did it to try to draw Saudi Arabia in. But now we know, and we know that the Iranians are in contact with the Saudi Arabians diplomatically.
See, that's why I said earlier, hey, eventually all of these Arab nations, they're going to eventually side with Iran. You know, they're going to eventually come to the realization that, look, being in league with America and with these tiny tots is totally stupid. It's totally not beneficial. And these motherfuckers don't give a shit about us. They're using us, you know, and they'll use us, you know, for whatever means necessary in order to get what they want, which is ultimately a greater Israel project, to where Turkey and Saudi Arabia and all those nations in that area that are allied with them, they're going to be looking to destroy you. As soon as they get rid of Iran, they're going to eventually attack all of their allies that are in that region to bring this so-called greater Israel project, man. This shows you that there's no more wisdom within this man. He's a damn fool. He's an idiot. He's a moron. But like we say, it's all through the power and the counsel of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. It's beautiful to see, man.
And they told them, hey, we didn't bomb. We don't want anybody to bomb oil facilities. We don't want anybody bombing our oil facilities, and we're not bombing anybody else's oil facilities. It definitely, we're only bombing military targets of the United States that are inside other Arab countries. And this was Israel that did that. Exactly what Israel always does, a false flag to try to draw people into wars. And that's exactly what this is. So, and what he's saying is that if we go after Iranians' oil capability, Iran will take out Saudi Arabia's oil capability, the United Arab Emirates capability, Bahrain, Oman, everybody in the Middle East. They're going to take out their oil because Iran has the ability to do that. So they will do it. And so that's why you notice that the United States has not yet bombed the oil fields of Iran. Up until this moment, they haven't done it. And I'm pretty sure the reason is because they know that Iran will then knock out the oil in every other Arab country, which they have the ability to do. And that's World War III right there, baby. And that's going to hurt Europe more than anybody.
Now you see why, you know, like I said earlier, you know, basically a lot of these NATO nations in Europe is going to suffer greatly because of the stupidity and the way that America and Israel are moving. You know, a lot of those European Union countries and NATO countries are going to suffer the greatest because of the way that America is moving, which is why scriptures tell you that the 10 horns that are upon the whore, they're going to hate the whore and eventually turn on her and burn her with fire.
Okay, let's see what he has more to say. No, that's it.
I asked my husband, when did you get so big?
Jackass.
His confidence hits different with Rougiette Ready. It dissolves under his tongue.
Shut
More to
up.
say.
But a few more minutes
No,
and I'm
that's
going to
it.
close it. But
That
check
was
this
it.
out, though.
So I just want to show you what he's talking about. So this is the area he's talking about. So here's Kuwait. There's Bahrain right here. So that's where the Bahrainians were cheering at. Let me see. I'll get it a little bigger. There it is. There's Iran, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, Doha, and there's Qatar, and there's Bahrain. So they took out the U.S. Navy installation in Bahrain, and the Bahrain people were cheering it on. So this is what so here's the Gulf states. There's the United Arab Emirates, there's Doha, there's Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia. And let's remember, this is the Greater Israel Project. So they want to take over. They've already taken over that parts of Syria. They want to go into Turkey. I already showed you that in another segment. Israel is now talking about starting a war with Turkey and Saudi Arabia because this is where they want to go. They want to go all the way down here. Mecca is right here. They want to take that over. Israel does, and they know this is the only chance they have right now. So they're already talking about going in against Turkey and going in against Saudi Arabia, which they're all supposed to be on the same side. Turkey is a NATO country.
Mm-hmm.
We're in bed with Saudi Arabia to the petrodollar.
Well, and that whole situation with Saudi Arabia is probably about to come to an end now that they realize that Israel attacked their oil facilities and tried to blame it on Iran. And remember, they want to take over all of these different nations that's within this area, but first they have to get rid of Iran. They already got Syria, and then eventually, if they can destroy Iran, they're going to backstab Saudi Arabia, they're going to backstab Turkey, and they're going to eventually try to destroy all of these so-called allies of theirs, which is why these devils are greatly despised, man. Hey, and the Lord is exposing this damn devil Esau, Edom. Hey, and this is why Jeremiah, the 49th chapter, hey, is getting ready to come to pass, man. And hey, the Lord is doing a great work in these last days. And hey, these devils are going to continue to get exposed. Prophecy is going to continue to come to pass. Hey, and this third world war is inevitable, and it's going to be the end of these damn devils, man. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all praise on the glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, Lord willing, you are edified. Into the next one, Shalom.